hello, 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 hello. This is Elle coming in from Beamer's Crafty Corner, and you know, I was just in with the Poodles, and we were doing mixed media mashup because it's Wednesday, and that's what I do on Wednesday. I go over and I hang out with Stacy and all the Poodles over there in the playground, and we make the mixed media mashup. See, it looks like this. Well, not everybody's. I did mine on a giant puzzle piece because I'm weird. And one of the big things that was an issue was, you know, she pulls out different cards and says, hey, do this. And everybody does it. And then, you know, we, at the end, find out what everybody's art looks like. Well, one of the things that people complain about the most is that they don't have a stencil. Okay? And I get that. Some of these things can cost $3, $4 in a craft shop. And they're not cheap. And you know, they get torn up and stuff. And then I started really thinking about it. And I was like, I could make this. I could. So I thought about it. And I have these envelopes that I put my stuff in, and I have this plastic stuff. And so I took a hole punch and I just went, oh, look. I really can. So I just started kind of putting holes in it. Just any old place. Now, I did realize that I was kind of limited on where I could go. Like, I couldn't make a really big one. I could only make like certain size, you know, because I can't really get in more than that far, so I could only make a tiny little stencil. That's okay. I mean, that's all I could do. That's all I could do. You know, this was my biggest stencil. I could be okay with that. Because at least, you know, it would be something. So then I thought about it, and I said, you know, we have all these different size punches. I even have one that's like a little slit. And I was like, I bet you I could do it with that too. So I took the little slit, I took the piece of plastic, and I went boom, 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 boom. And I went, yeah, that works. So I started playing around a little bit more, and then I remembered that in the drawer over there in the cabinet, where I don't really go that often, I had this. Now I picked this up on one of my scavengers. And what this is a set of punches. And I know a lot of crafters that have these. Now this one makes a butterfly. So I said, well, let me see if this will work. So I put it in, and I punched it. And it made a butterfly. Can you see that? Cool, huh? And this one makes a heart. See that? And this one makes a different kind of heart. See? This one makes a square like my other square, but this one's bigger. Okay? And this one makes a flower. So I started thinking to myself, not only am I going to get all these cool, like, clear plastic shapes, but I could make a stencil. So I got hearts, 2 hearts, a butterfly, a line, a star, yeah, 2 hearts, a butterfly, a line, a star, and a flower. Plus these. I could make stencils. And then I said, and I scratched my head, and I went, you know, this stuff is a little bit flimsy. I wonder what else I could do with it. So, I put my punches away. and I formulated a plan. Well, I tried going through commercial acetate, and with a punch it's too thick, okay? But I don't want to just do dots, and I don't want to be limited. So I said, well, what else could I do? So I went in my drawer and I pulled out a couple of my dies, and I did this one first, and that's just a honeycomb die. Now when I ran this through, it did not cut. It just put a really cool die pattern, you know, a honeycomb pattern in the plastic. It didn't cut. So I said, well, that's not cool. So then I got a brainstorm, and I said, you know it will cut two pieces of paper if I put them one on top of the other. So what I did was I took a piece of plastic and I put it in between my die and the paper, and I put it in my regular sandwich between my plates, ran it through my machine, and what came out was this and this. Now that's not very thick, but if you were going to be using a spray or a paint, this would certainly work, and we're going to try it. We're going to find out if it works, okay? So we had that one. Now, as a temporary, of course, if you cut this out of cardstock, or 110-pound cardstock specifically, or craft paper, you might be able to even use this once, okay? We're going to find out about that too. But I wanted to use this. I want something that you can use and wash and use and wash and use and wash. So I said, I wonder if my die cut machine will cut that. So I cut a piece of this, I put it over to paper, I put the die on top of it, and I ran it through the machine. And the one that I ran was actually this one here, the stars and the moons. And what I got, I've lost. There it is. What I got was this. Yeah, that's an acetate die. Made from acetate, good and strong. We're going to see if that works. So what I'm going to do is clear this mess off. I'm going to get a piece of paper. I am going to grab my paste that I made, my homemade paste, and a palette knife, and we're going to try our different experimental pieces and see which ones work. Okay? We're going to do it together. Alright, give me a minute. I'll be right back. Okay, so this is my homemade modeling paste, and I actually have the recipe for this in one of my videos, and I'll link it below. And it's inexpensive to make. You probably have the ingredients around the house. I made this about a little over maybe 2 weeks, almost 2 weeks ago, and it's still good. I got a piece of craft black paper here, just a piece of 8x8. So let's do the weakest link first. Okay, so we're just going to take a little bit of this modeling paste. We're going to put down our die cut. Put some modeling paste on there. Just kind of wipe it down. Now I know I'm getting all over the place, but I'm really just looking to see if we can make this work. And it actually works pretty good. And that's just a die cut out of craft paper. Just regular weight. This isn't even heavy. This is regular weight craft paper. Okay? And when I'm done with it, I can just throw it away. So you could cut out 3 or 4 of these and use them for your projects and throw them away as necessary. So that's the answer to that. It works. So let's try the one that we made in the thinner plastic. A little bit of modeling paste. Put it down. Scrape off the excess. Lift it up. Hey, that one works too. It's not great, but it does work. kind of the same. This one, I think the paper is actually a little clearer. Let me show you. I think that the lines on this one, which is our paper, I think the lines are more distinct. Over here, there's a little more blurring. But it works, and that's all that matters. So I saved that little piece with all the punches in it because I wanted to see if we could actually get some of these shapes. So let's get a little scoop of this. Let's put this down, and let's try some of the bars, the flowers, bigger bars, and the hearts, and these butterflies. Okay, so let's pick this up and see where we're at. Now we've kind of smushed it around a little bit, but I apologize. We'll try that again, just to see for clarity. Okay. Get that picked up. And it's just because I have modeling paste all over my fingers. It's not too bad. I mean, it's not great, but it's not too bad, okay? So the next one is the one that we did out of the acetate. Okay, so let's get a clean piece of paper here. Let's get some of this. Now all I'm going to do is just put this down, just like the other ones. I'm just going to hold it with my fingers. I'm going to put down some of the modeling paste. Go across the image. And then scrape up the excess. Now again, I'm not being really careful here. I'm just kind of smooching it everywhere. Let's pull it up, see? And that's perfect. That's perfect. All right. Let's give this a minute to dry, and then we'll take a look at it and see how it works and how it reacts, and we'll be able to get a clearer view, okay? All right. So we tested this one, and I'll be honest, this is kind of the best one of the ones that we tested. I mean, they all work. I would say the paper and this acetate one are the two best. Okay? The blue stuff is just, I think it's just too thin. Now, if you put two pieces of this together, it might work. If you had thicker plastic, it might work. But definitely the paper and the acetate worked the best on these, okay? So now I want to know how do they handle, you know, actual texture cream. So this is Artsy, and we're going to look at how our paper and our acetate hold up. Okay? So we're going to do the paper first, just like before. And I got a smaller palette knife here because, well, the other one was dirty. Now, keeping in mind that, you know, a commercial texture paste is going to be a little bit thicker than the one that I make at home. So I'm just going to put this here, and I'm going to put some texture paste down. Might need a little bit more. Okay. Now I'm really kind of laying into this. Okay. That's not bad. Let's do our acetate. Okay. It's kind of hard to do this to show you guys. But there's the acetate. And as you can see, this really holds up. It's great. Works fine. So, if you don't have any stencils, but you have a big shot at home, when you want to do this, it's pretty easy. I'm going to show you real quick how to do it, and then we're going to get out of here, okay? All right, hold on. Okay, so I got out the Big Shot, piece of paper, and my old plates, okay? I don't want to use my good ones here. I also got out a piece of acetate, which I'm going to cut a piece off of here. Okay. So, your multi-purpose platform, a plate, paper, acetate, cutting die. Plate. That's our sandwich, okay? So we're going to push this through. Now it's going to crackle. Just so you know. It's going to crackle a lot. Whew. Alright, so that's once forward and back. We're going to do it again. Still hearing crackles. And I'm going to do it one more time. Okay. All the way through. And all the way back. Alrighty. Let's open up our sandwich. Okay. So I'm going to get rid of this. Alright, now, if this worked, this should work. So let's pull this out. Everything looks pretty promising at this point. These are coming out, no problem. See? Alright, well, we have paper stencil. Alright, let's see if we have a plastic stencil. Okay, that part came out pretty easy. So now we're just going to knock these out. Now, if you have one like this one here that's kind of stuck, just use your craft knife or your scissors and just snip it out. Okay? Alright. So I got 90% of them out. I think there's like 3 of them still in there. 2. But yeah, there it is. You know, I've got a stencil that I can use again and again, and I'll get multiple uses out of it. And I got, you know, this paper die cut to boot, which is kind of cool. So that's my quick fix for the I don't have a stencil. Take a look through your die cuts and see what you have that might work as a stencil. Then give it a cut. See how it works, okay? Alright. Down there's a red button. Subscribe. Like me. Ring my bell. Share me with all your friends. This is the first time you're here? Welcome. Take a look around. If you've been here from the beginning, thank you. You have no idea what your support means to me. Until next time, bye-bye.